President Museveni addressed the nation on security on Saturday evening, condemning acts of torture and other human rights violations by the security forces.
The idea of safe custody. Jails are not storehouses for people.
And although the president did not directly state what prompted his address, human rights activists point to possibility of an act of damage control ahead of the United Nations peer examination on human rights early next year. The third review would have taken place this year.
Among the major recommendations that were made in 2016 was that Ugandan security forces must stop acts of torture, mistreatment, and conduct contrary to the law. So his address is timely.
Sewanyana also refers to the backlash from the extradition of Fred Kajubi, famously known in social media circles as Lumbuye, as another reason.
If Turkey, as a member of the European Union, as a member of the European Council, and is a country that respects human rights, it cannot expedite an individual to a country where he is likely to face torture, all acts of impunity, because international law is very clear on that.
Within the international community, you know that some time back, a number of security officials were blacklisted by the United States and other countries. So my thinking is that it is out of this pressure.
The human rights defenders say the directives of the president to security forces against human rights abuse are only words.
We didn't see him, for example, talking about what happens about those that have already been caught violating human rights. In his talk, nowhere did he say, let's start with getting people, for example, that have been caught on camera, you know, you did that, you brutalized that one, you tortured that one.
They also fault him for not following up on how the directives are implemented. They link the acts of torture to impunity, corruption, and the search to regain and maintain political power, resulting in turning a blind eye when these sort of crimes happen.
One would easily pass the president's communication for political management or, just politicking. Because if I were a security officer and I was listening to that address, my interpretation would be that, His Excellency, the Commander-in-Chief, does not mean this. He's just saying it to look good to the international community, to the players, but he's not biting.
Previous reports on peer examination painted a gloomy picture on the state of human rights in Uganda, and for which the state was required to correct before the next evaluation. The failure to adjust would lead to restricted access to finance and cripple government-to-government cooperation. Jackson Onyango, NTV.